Plain Vane, that's Capcom for you. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. I do agree with you. Although, you know, as much as Capcom tends to nickel and dime its audiences, they're not the only ones. It's kind of, I would say, in my opinion, it's modern gaming today. It's, you know, it's a lot of how a lot of businesses kind of do their shenanigans nowadays. I just would like it if they just kind of add a little bit more value to their shit, so that way, you know, it felt like I was actually spending my money, my hard-earned money, and I felt like I actually got a little bit more value from it. But it is what it is. Plain Vane, you're mentioning, I kind of liked what Killer Instinct did. They listed out the cost of the stages, character prices, so if you wanted the characters you liked, you could purchase it. Yes, I never played much of KI. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about in a little bit here, but I never liked, or I never played much of KI, but I've seen its marketing models, and I thought it was overly complicated until someone showed me in person exactly what it did, and I was like, oh, that is so badass. That is such a good deal. And I really liked it. I thought it was one of the coolest things in the world, and I thought that, you know, maybe we might see more of that in gaming, but unfortunately that's not really the case. What I don't like about this game is if you wanted to buy a character, like take for example Rashid, purchase character, 350. Do they bring that down? In any case, let's find out. So 350. Which, for the record, if a costume costs more than a character, you know that your pricing model is totally fucked. The character should be the most expensive thing in the game. No cosmetic or anything else, even music or stages, should be more than the character. The character should be the highest value product by far. So I think that's kind of whack that some of these things are as high as the character cost. That's stupid as hell. All this stuff to me should be like in the 10s, 20s, and 50s at the most. I think that's a complete ripoff. But yeah, 350. You mean to tell me that a sticker is the same value, is 1/3 the cost of a character? That is dumb. I really hate how anti-consumer that is. But we'll move past that. What I don't like about this game with its business model is this. If you wanted to buy a character for 350 coins, you had to buy up for 310 coins. You can't buy the lowest value and buy the character directly. So if you look at the cost for 610, it's like $8. So you have to, you're literally buying up for the character, and that to me is like the most absurd thing, an anti-consumer thing I've seen in a while. I really hate that. The lowest value in this game should be 350 for the coins, and that should be $5. But I think that is the sneakiest fucking thing that they did in this game, and it really bugs me. And I really like this game, but this thing is such a pain in the ass business model, and I really hope that Capcom really evaluates this and redoes this, like the values of these fighter coins, and does something about it. I do not like how anti-consumer this is, and like this would be bad enough. This would be bad enough if it wasn't for this shit. An emote is the 1/3 of a cost of a character. Why? Why? This shit should be in the 10s. This should be, all this should be 5 and 10s. None of this, none of the emotes should be 100. Yeah, you could buy it for drive tickets. I understand that. But to get drive tickets in this game, you have to grind so fucking hard. It is so anti-consumer. It's ridiculous. Hopefully they will sell a package of all this shit, all these things, for a reasonable price. Are they going to do that? Probably not anytime soon. Probably after like a year that the game's been released, they might sell like some kind of like add-on package, but this is some smarmy shit. Like, I think this is so predatory, and I really dislike that they did this. This here, Street Fighter 2 20 set, all stickers. The sticker is nearly the value of the fucking character. This stuff outprices costume colors. Why? Why do stickers outprice the cost of the costumes? Like, what the fuck? Why are the most somewhat consumer friendly things are the characters and the costumes? somewhat consumer friendly. It's not really all that consumer friendly, honestly. That to me is just a weird ass business model they got going on there, especially when you go into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle products in general, like the outfits and the avatar outfits and stuff, and how absurd that shit is. I think that all of their business models right here is incredibly predatory, and I really dislike it. The game is fantastic, and a game I would recommend to anyone, but I really hope that people are not buying this shit, because it would just incentivize them to keep doing it. I know that there's going to be people out there that will buy this shit, and it's understandable why they're buying it, but I do think that they're hurting themselves as well as the other player base for buying it. So in my honest opinion, I really think that people should not purchase any of this stuff, with the exception of the Fighters Pass and the character pass, and buying the characters directly. I think those are the only things that are worth of value. Capcom really needs to reevaluate this shit. This is absurd. This is dumb. There's no reason that any of these wallpapers, these frames, these emotes should be nearly the value of a fucking character. I really dislike that. Like, that is dumb. That is so dumb. And I really like what Capcom has done these last several years, but this shit is predatory. I really dislike it. Sorry, I went on a bit of a rant, but when I see it, and every time I go to the shop, I get pissed. I just get pissed. I'm like, come on, this game is so good, and I love the hell out of this game. I enjoy playing it. I put in tons of hours, and then I see this, and it just kind of ruins my mood. It's so fucking dumb. Plane, you're saying, I see what you're saying. They will support regardless, but I won't. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I won't support any of this shit till they, reevaluate their spending costs. But I really do hope, like, that. Why is all of Dawson's color costs nearly the exact value of a character? That makes no fucking sense. This should be 50. All these should be like 5 and 10. And those drive tickets are also exorbitantly high. And because the game is so good, no one's really talking about it on the Street Fighter side of things, including the professional players. The professional players, obviously, their interest is in the game itself, but this game is not free to play. There's no justifications for how high the price margin is for all this shit. And same thing with the drive tickets. There's no justification for this. This shit is so anti-consumer. It is just mind-boggling. I cannot stand how frustrating this is. It really rubs me the wrong way. It pisses me off. Yeah. Hopefully they will adjust this and get around to it. But honestly, they will not change these things until players start speaking up about it. Like, I may feel this way, but unless the community as a whole, Capcom, or not Capcom, the FGC and the player base itself really speak up about this predatory practice that they're doing right now, this shit will keep going and it'll get worse. Like, I know that there are some people that are speaking up about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, but that shit is so absurd that it's the obvious things, and people are forgetting about the more important things, which is like this stuff. Yeah, you can probably get it in the World Tour mode, but guess what? They're gonna start adding content that you can't get in the World Tour mode eventually, including these tickets too, and you're gonna have to pay money out of it. I'm more than happy to pay money for the battle passes and characters and all the other stuff that is reasonably priced, but this shit is predatory, and it's especially bad for players that struggle with this. This stuff is bad. Like, this is really bad. Community needs to speak up for real. Yeah, I agree. It's just, it ticks me off. It really does. It's such a mistake, and I hope that the player base will like really talk about it. But until someone does, this shit ain't changing for a while. And I'm too small of a YouTuber to make any influence. I'm way too small, so my voice is never going to be heard. But if people like Maximilian, people start reaching out about like those other bigger YouTubers, maybe they might be able to get our voices heard, because influencers and stuff like that, they have more influence on the developers and as well as the business side of things than people realize. So I would say, like, if people can't speak up to Capcom, speak up in Maximilian streams. Like, seriously, say something. Get it to other big YouTuber streamers and speak up about it, about the frustration with it. I would. you know, leave a comment on their YouTube videos. But until someone starts talking about it, well, this shit's gonna get worse. It's gonna get way more predatory as time goes by.